Reign Supreme, the podcast.
Because it's a journey to reign supreme. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Reign Supreme, the podcast. This podcast is devoted to helping you refocus your perspectives, reset the narrative, and represent the authentic, empowered version of yourselves to the world. And it's crafted from the raw materials of your imagination. I'm Coach JourniRayne, and I will be your host and your captain for this brand new voyage. Get ready to set sail into the turbulent yet beautiful waters of relationships in the Managing Your Ship series. Last week, we gave an overview of this series, and on this week, we're diving right in and discussing knowing yourself first. Before you can know your partner, you must first know yourself. So buckle up because your journey into the sea of relationships starts right now. Welcome back, fellow sailors, to the Managing Your Ship series. So on last week, we discussed that a relationship is two people on a ship learning to relate, right? Let me ask you a question. How can you relate to anyone else when you haven't learned to relate to yourself? We live in a day and age where we don't know who we are. We don't know our likes, our dislikes, our triggers, what brings us joy. We don't know our standards, our boundaries. Therefore, we don't know when someone is getting too close to the line or has even crossed it. We don't know ourselves, and it's hard to love what you don't know. That's why we don't love ourselves, because we don't know ourselves. We spend so much time gazing at the other ships in the water that we are missing out on the beauty of our own, because we're spending so much time trying to imitate, clone, copy the next. Who are you? We can't get to the place God has for us because we're too busy following the path of someone else. Who are you? Before you can ever relate to your partner, you must first learn to relate to yourself. So our first course of navigation is know yourself first. It's the vital truth. If you don't know yourself, you won't know where you want to go as opposed to where you're trying to go. So do this for me. Picture setting sail without a destination. It's like steering a ship without a map, lost in the expanse of uncertainty. Now let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt like that sailor, unsure of where you're headed in a relationship? It's a common journey we all embark upon at some point. Today we'll unravel the secrets of self-discovery, exploring why knowing yourself is the compass that directs your relationship's ship. So tighten your metaphorical sails and let's navigate these introspective waters together. Let me weave for you a story. Imagine a sailor full of excitement stepping onto a grand ship, ready to explore the vastness of the sea, but here's the twist. They have no idea where they want to sail. The ship sits in the harbor, surrounded by endless possibilities, yet the sailor is paralyzed by indecision. It's a whimsical tale, but a relatable tale that mirrors the importance of self-awareness in relationships. Just as our sailor needs to determine their destination, we must explore our inner seas to know our desires, our goals, and values before setting sail into the vast expanse of a partnership. We've all been there, feeling adrift in the uncharted waters within ourselves. Not knowing your own depths is like navigating a ship through a thick fog without a compass. It is so easy to get lost in the sea of expectations, societal pressures, and external influences. So let's grab the helm and begin this journey of self-discovery together. Because knowing yourself is about turning on the lighthouse within, illuminating your values, your fears, and your aspirations. It's not about perfection, but it's about understanding that each wave, whether calm or tumultuous, is a part of your unique sea. The journey of self discovery is about acceptance. It's about acknowledging the unique contours of your inner landscape without judgment. Picture this as creating a detailed map of your emotional terrain. By recognizing your strengths and weaknesses, you can navigate relationships with authenticity. Remember, understanding yourself doesn't mean having all the answers. It means you're open to the continual process of self discovery. So, fellow sailors, let the winds of acceptance fill your sails as we set sail into the heart of self awareness. I'm going to give you a task, right? For the next 7 days, I want you to wake up in the morning and go to the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your eyes, your hair, your lips, your nose, your neck, your chest. Just look at yourself. The eyes are the gateway to the soul, right? So look into your eyes. Familiarize yourself with what you see. Don't think anything, just look. I want you to do that for 5 minutes every morning. Then I want you to look at yourself and smile. Look at your eyes and tell yourself what you like about them. Even if you don't like anything yet, tell yourself what you like. I love the color of my eyes, chestnut brown, or ocean blue, or sea green, the color of the sky on a bright summer day. Your eyebrows, maybe it's how full they are. I don't have eyebrows, so I have to contour mine on. So be thankful if you have eyebrows. Maybe it's how long your lashes are. Maybe the fullness of your lips, how your lips look when you smile. Maybe it's the redness or the blondness or the brownness of your hair. Admonish your face with love for 5 minutes nonstop. Just taking time to love on you, right? So first, you're going to spend 5 minutes just looking at yourself. Then you're going to spend 5 minutes smiling at yourself and admonishing yourself, right? Then I want you to take 5 minutes to empower yourself. Speak to yourself like you're speaking to yourself. You are strong. You are powerful. You can conquer any obstacle. You are fearless. You are independent. You are achieving your goals. You are a conqueror. You are capable of amazing things. You see the path you should take and you walk it fearlessly. You walk with your head held high. You speak to you. Speak to you in that moment. Empower yourself. Listen, sometimes in life, you really have to encourage yourself. You're not going to always have someone there to tell you that you can make it. So you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you can make it. Tell yourself you got it. And keep doing it until you believe it. 15 minutes a day is what I want you to do every morning. As we dive into these uncharted waters, let me share an empowering insight with you. The waves of self discovery may feel daunting, but they carry the potential for growth and empowerment. Acknowledge your fears and uncertainties as a part of the journey. Just as a ship becomes resilient in turbulent waters, so do we gain strength through self awareness. Each moment of introspection is like adjusting the sail, ensuring that your ship sails authentically and purposefully. So let's embrace the challenge and uncover the treasures hidden within the depths of our beings. The empowering truth is that self awareness is a beacon that guides your ship through the stormy seas. Embrace these waves as opportunities for growth. They'll teach you what you can handle and what you're not strong enough to yet. They'll teach you the areas you need to gain strength in, and they'll help you build courage. By understanding your own currents, you'll navigate the intricacies of relationships with newfound strength. So, fellow sailors, chart your course within yourself to ensure your ship is on a purposeful journey. Now imagine getting your ship to a place where it is seaworthy, meaning you've taken the time to get to know it, you've maintained it and fixed it up, but you have no idea where you want to go. That's like setting sail without a destination. That's why self awareness is a continual journey that doesn't just stop because I've learned to love myself or I've gotten to know my wants and my desires. It's like having a beautiful car that you never drive or purchasing a yacht that never leaves the dock. It looks good, but it's no good if it's not operating in the vein of what it was created for. Have you ever let a car sit for weeks at a time and didn't start it up? What happened to it? Battery died, right? It's the same thing with us. Knowing yourself is also about knowing where you're trying to go. Setting a course requires identifying your destination and setting a course to that destination. Your relationship goals, desires, and the type of connections you seek. It's about steering your ship towards the sunrise you've envisioned rather than being carried away by the currents of uncertainty. So now is the time to discover, where is it that I want to go? What are my dreams, aspirations? What is my course of action? Because that's your map. Think of it as your treasure map. In order to get to the treasure, you have to have detailed instructions of where it is and how to get it. Picture yourself as the captain, standing at the helm, ready to set sail. By knowing your destination, you empower your ship, yourself, with purpose. This purpose becomes your North Star, guiding you through the complexities of relationships. So let's unfurl the sails of intention, right? Set our course with determination and navigate toward the horizon we've envisioned. In doing so, we ensure that our ship sails toward the fulfilling connections that we desire. Another task, right? I need you to take a piece of paper and write down everything about you. Everything. Your likes, your dislikes, your triggers, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you angry, what sends you off the rails, your quirks, your fears, minor or major, your standards, your boundaries, your desires, your plans, your dreams. Write it all out. Then I want you to look at that list and decide what on that list you want to change, what you want to improve, and what you want to get rid of, and begin one by one to work on it. Because this is how you get to know yourself, and this is how you get to know where you want to go. You have to come face to face with yourself. As Michael Jackson said, you have to take a look at the man in the mirror. You've got to get to know you. Once you know who you are and what you want, who you are will naturally deflect or warn you of anything that doesn't reflect it. I call it my spidey senses, right? If you're spiritual, you call it discernment. And for the others, you may call it your intuition. It will automatically kick in to let you know there's danger nearing, but you have to know yourself first. So listen, when you really know yourself, you know your triggers. You know what behaviors, actions, or words trigger you or set you off. You learn what your buttons are. And when you mature, that word, when you mature, you learn how to restrict access to those buttons. When you really know yourself, When you really love yourself and are comfortable with yourself, you then learn that you have nothing to prove to anyone but God and yourself. So you don't respond to everything that comes at you. Listen, I learned years ago that you don't have to show up to every fight you're invited to. You don't. Because when you really realize that you have nothing to prove, you get off that flight, the prove it flight, because you realize it's not headed in your direction anyway. Because when you really know yourself, then me will show me what's not for me so I can cover and protect me. This is my motto, right? If you say 2 plus 2 is 10, then so be it. It's not my job to prove you wrong. Prove to you why it's not 10. Prove to you how I got 4. Because watch this. When a person has made up their mind, you can't change it anyway. So why try to prove or disprove to someone who has already formulated an ideal in their mind? Let them take it up with God and you let it be. That doesn't show weakness. It actually shows strength. It shows growth. It shows maturity. It shows God you're ready to be trusted with more. But you have to know yourself so you'll know your triggers or buttons so you can hide them until you can heal them. Think of your intention as the wind in your sails because you have to learn how to steer with intention. It's the wind in your sails propelling you toward the horizon you've set. As the captain of your ship, you have the power to navigate through the currents of life with purpose and with intention. By knowing yourself and setting a clear destination, you steer your ship toward the fulfilling connection you seek. So let the winds of intention guide you as we set sail into the heart of self-awareness and intentional relationship building, even if the first relationship you need to intentionally build is the relationship with yourself. So finally, as we round the final bend of today's episode, let's talk about the clarity of knowing and the beauty of the shared horizon. Let's marvel at the beauty that unfolds when you know yourself. It's like 2 ships sailing side by side, each with its own course. The beauty lies in the clarity of knowing your own direction and understanding the currents that drive your partnership. Because when you understand your own ship and your direction, you're then free to invest in your partner and them in you. But in order for this to work, your partner has to know themselves too. Otherwise, instead of your ships joining or merging, they'll continually collide, causing damage along the way. That's why we end up so damaged when relationships end. We spend the entire ride colliding instead of connecting. Knowing yourself first doesn't mean sailing alone. Instead, it empowers you to share the journey with a fellow explorer. It's about celebrating your unique courses and finding common currents that bring your ships together. By knowing yourself, you become not only the captain of your ship, but also a skilled navigator steering towards shared horizons with confidence and purpose. The uncharted waters within are not just a destination, but a continuous voyage of growth. Much like a ship that undergoes maintenance to ensure a smooth journey, self-discovery is an ongoing process. It involves tuning into inner seas regularly, understanding how they ebb and flow. Because by doing so, you equip yourself with the wisdom to navigate the complexities of relationships with grace and resilience. So as we embark on this inner voyage, let's celebrate the waves of growth, for they propel us toward deeper self-awareness and more fulfilling connections. As we prepare to dock this episode, Imagine your ship returning to the harbor after a transformative voyage. Today, we've navigated the waters of self discovery, set our course with intention, and marveled at the beauty of shared horizons. As you step off this vessel of insights, take with you the echoes of understanding and the wind of purpose in your sails. Before we part ways, I invite you to take a moment to reflect. Imagine yourself standing on the dock, looking back at the ship you've been sailing, the vessel of your self awareness. See the waves of growth and empowerment that ripple behind it. Acknowledge the strength in the clarity of knowing and the beauty of your shared horizon. Carry these reflections with you as you continue your journey, both within yourself and within the vast seas of your relationships. Thank you for embarking on this leg of our Managing Your Ship series. We hope you learned something today to kickstart your journey of self-discovery. And ladies, to help you along your journey, we've created a place just for you at womenswellnessworld.circle of motivation at circleofmotivation.com. Here you'll find weekly empowerment menus and access to the Reign Supreme podcast absolutely free. Or you can sign up and become a member of the Empowerment Tribe for only $10 per month and receive access to a treasure trove of empowerment, from inspirational blogs to spiritual code blogs to journal prompts to empowered streaming videos for commanding your morning and visualization and breath work to soundscapes to help you sleep, and even late night story times full of drama and suspense for your late night indulgence. Come on over and become a part of the Empowered Tribe today. You'll be absolutely glad you did. Remember, the seas of self discovery are boundless, and each episode is a new opportunity to explore uncharted waters. Next week, we'll discuss getting to know your partner. Oh, you didn't think this voyage was just about you, did you? Until we set sail again, may your heart be your compass. May your journey be filled with love, growth, and the joy of navigating your ship with purpose. Fair winds, dear sailors, and may the horizon ahead be ever bright. This has been Reign Supreme, the podcast with JourniRayne, because it's a journey to reign supreme. See you next week.